Welcome to the Celebrate a Sister podcast. I'm your host, Emma Walkinshaw, author, body confidence coach, and founder of The Embodied Woman and 21 Minutes of Morning Magic. You'll also find me on the yoga mat hosting retreats here in Australia and internationally. Each week, I chat with incredible women around self-belief, body acceptance, and embracing who we are, especially in midlife. We share real stories, challenge outdated beauty standards, and grow together through honest conversations. I am so glad you are here. Enjoy. Calling all women who love an adventure, love the idea of raising their self-awareness and having an adventure. If India is calling to you, come and join Yogi, Louie and I. We are returning to India, the south of India, this year in November, the 1st of November to the 8th of November. We will be in Kerala hosting the Divine Feminine Wholehearted Retreat. If you love to learn more about yourself, if you are curious about the Indian culture, particularly Ayurveda, we will be doing some incredible exploration and learning and experiencing about Ayurveda, how that can help us in midlife, balance our hormones, find that beautiful equilibrium. If you have a little enjoyment of yoga, we will be doing some beautiful yoga, and it's gentle and it's soft and it's kind. Our whole retreat is around the divine feminine, opening up your heart, reconnecting to yourself, and doing it with other like-minded women. So here's your invitation. Come and join us. This week's podcast is a flashback from the Body Love Revolution online summit. Yogi, Louie and I have a beautiful chat around aging with grace. Enjoy this podcast. If India is speaking to your heart, come and join us. There is a link in the show notes. A big warm welcome to everybody. Again, here we are with another incredible guest on the Body Love Revolution online summit. Louise is a dear friend of mine, and we refer to her as Yogi Louie. I'm going to tell you about our dear friend Louise. Louise is a biomedical yoga and meditation teacher and a retreat host, specializing in pain relief, anxiety, trauma, and relationships. She's recently hosted workshops about aging with grace and offers small group ceremonial retreats for women pre and post menopause. For nearly 3 decades, Louise has balanced her career between teaching and owning a business with her husband. Louise's greatest delight is her family, being a mother of 2 adult sons and fur babies, Cleo and Sophia. With a strong passion for women's wellness, Louise deeply understands the challenges of balancing multiple roles as a career woman, parent, and wife, while also prioritizing self-care. Through her teachings, she provides valuable strategies to cope with stress, anxiety, and trauma, fostering improved relationships with oneself and others through the relational yoga. Louise offers a diverse range of movement and meditation styles, enabling her students to establish a profound connection between mind, body, and spirit, and ultimately gaining access to a state of deep peace. Welcome, Yogi Louie.
Thank you, Em. Thank you so much for having me part of the Body Love Revolution Summit. Deep reflection today about what you've created in this space, and definitely has been at the forefront of my conversations with girlfriends.
Thank you. Yes, it is. It is such a wonderful topic that is layers deep with many different facets. And I really love your angle on our topic of body love, self-acceptance, and also aging with grace. And I have just been privileged to be on a beautiful experience with you. It has just been recently one of your 0 birthdays, the big 50. So can you share with us your struggle with your body love approaching 50 and menopause?
Yeah, thanks, Sam. I definitely, as I was approaching 50, probably when I was around 47, I was really feeling into a lack and fear about you know, coming into perimenopausal stage of life, and just just all the changes that happen in the body at that time, and focusing on the loss, the grief, the sadness of the time. I think I was quite down about it. I was really, and I also cranky. I was thinking, why do we now have to go through this stage, where our bodies are changing yet again, and really feeling like it wasn't fair. Just thinking about, how the body was going to be sagging and drying up and aching and bloating and becoming an unsexy version of myself. And, definitely wasn't really who I am in my essence. I'm not that negative thinker. So I really had to go out of my way and make a decision that, no, I'm not going to suffer through this. I'm going to find a way to find joy through this next stage of life. So definitely that commenced for me an incredible journey, a lot of deep research into, well, what is actually going to happen to my body at this time? What can I expect? And really trying to find out some, knowledge behind that. So that was to try and reduce the fear around it, I guess. And then that just moved into this, at the end of the day, I just came into self-compassion, self-acceptance, and eventually just found a way to turn this into a special journey. And the more I learned, the more invigorated I felt about this next stage, and what a magical stage it is for women. There is so much power in this stage for us, and it's definitely a transcendent stage. We can either, if we do the work, we can come out as the butterfly, but if we remain in this fear-based lens, it's going to be a tough road. But more than ever, it's a time to gather with women and celebrate and be supported.
And I do want to talk about the recent celebration, but I won't just yet. I would love for you, from my perspective, Yogi Louie, you have been absolutely instrumental in myself coming into this stage of life. I'm just 2 years behind you, but you are that big sister I don't have. You helped me parent my boy. I mean, year 12, I've called Yogi Louie in the walk-in wardrobe with my son home going, and she's talked me through some serious parenting advice, being that 2 years ahead of me. And now that I'm 2 years away from 50 and this perimenopause, I am in menopause. I've not had a period for 12 months. And you have been instrumental in me managing the emotion and the grief in this. But I'd love for you to share, because this has been powerful when you shared this with me, the stages, the stages that we do go through. Can you share with everyone what those stages are and the feeling?
Yeah, sure. Well, through my, just trying to get some knowledge around this, I was very interested in developing a rite of passage for this time of life, because it is like another stage. Like, as women, we go through our time when we're having our period, and then we become a mother, and then we lose our period for 12 months. So it's just another stage of our life as a woman. And Jane Hardwick Collins is a local beautiful woman down in northern New South Wales who does a lot of rite of passages for women. And she makes a beautiful description of the 4 stages of womanhood. So we have the maiden stage, the mother stage, the MAGA stage, and then the crone stage. So, I mean, I guess reflective on, you know, times gone past where we didn't live as long. We probably, you know, were mothers and then grandmothers pretty much, you know, quite in quick succession. And that's definitely still, you know, still the case for some women. But yeah, she just really was about empowering women. She empowers women in these different stages and does beautiful work. So I guess I ran with that, and I guess for my 50th birthday, I definitely wasn't in the party stage of my 40s. I wasn't going to have a big party. I really wanted to acknowledge the great healing journey that I had embarked on, and just really feel deeply into this beautiful transitional stage with women. So there became the Harvest Queen retreat, and I wanted my 50th, you know, to be the Harvest Queen celebration. We're in our harvest. We're harvesting all the fruits of our work as mother. And like you touched on, like our kids are starting, you know, they might have been leaving home. They're definitely old enough to be, you know, going on their own journey. So, you know, as mothers, it can be a bit of a time when we feel lost. So yeah, for me, I really wanted this. I wanted to celebrate the stage, and it was from that. It came from that journey that I started with, where I was fearful, where I was grieving, where, you know, I wasn't in a good state, and I just turned it into into this joy fest that I'm definitely in. And it was really important for me to be with women, but to be in a sacred space with women, and to really be in a ceremonial space. So when we're in a ceremonial space, it really is that, you know, call to the universe, you know, and just really making it a sacred time with other women in circle. And celebrating our phases of womanhood, and really honoring the phases of womanhood. There's a beautiful part that we do in the ceremony, and we listen to a meditation, and the words are, lay flowers at the feet of all the different versions of women you've been. And you know, you can really relate to that as we journey through our phases of womanhood, how many different women we've been, and really honoring all of them to this stage.
Well, I feel incredibly grateful to you that I was, you know, I had the privilege to attend your Harvest Queen retreat celebration. And like I mentioned, being just a couple of years younger than you, I know without a doubt that I will bring in, like you brought in your 50th year, and I will definitely do the same, and you will be hosting that ceremony. And you are absolutely right. That container that you held for us in that ceremony, and for listeners, I mean, we won't go into details because it's secret women's business. However, it was 2 nights and pretty much 3 days of this incredible laughter, joy, tears, all of the emotion. But I must say, I said this to Yogi Louie offline, that it has been the gift that keeps on giving. I went into your beautiful Harvest Queen ceremony feeling all of those sadness and grief, but I'm actually now, like you said, you know, turning that around, or having that shift and looking at the privilege that it is to be coming into this next stage of life. So Yogi Lou, I'm forever grateful for you, for me being able to be part of that container, and the women that were in the group celebrating your harvest time. There are no accidents. There are divine appointments with different human beings in our life. And I feel when you make the decision to create a ceremonial experience, and whoever's there, it's God work. It's the universe work. It's the way of the world.
Yeah.
So I think about other women who perhaps have felt like you and I, around this grief and sadness of a body that's, what did you say, drying up, aching, is
Yes.
angry, is hot.
Yes.
All of those things.
Yes.
Is having this ceremony to celebrate, turning that grief to celebration. Of course, yes, it's at stage, but for every woman moving into her harvest queen, my wish for her is to have a ceremony and move into this.
Yeah.
And you, from where I sit, and look, I'm, I don't mind a drink. I've danced with no alcohol. I've sat on both sides of the fence, but I do love the consciousness and the pure intention of the ceremony that we went through. It was just wholesome, healing,
Yeah.
joyful.
Yeah. And I think the magic is created too when you have women at different stages, because that's what we're essentially doing, is honoring the stages of womanhood. And when we've got women, so we're in our Maga stage, transitioning to crone stage, which is our wisdom stage. And we had beautiful crone women in that circle, doing what they are blessed to do and offering this beautiful wisdom to us, and just being held and supported in a wisdom circle like that. It's transformational. It's a transformational experience. And we also cover, I guess, a bit of science in the Maga woman stage, what happens with our hormones and why we feel like that, but what benefits we get as well, because there's a lot we get as well, and why we might start feeling into our intuition and all that sort of thing. So we do cover that side, a little bit of that side of it as well. Just knowledge is power.
Yes, I thoroughly enjoyed, and I'm not overly sciencey, but I thoroughly enjoyed, through your extensive training and your yoga therapy work, all of that you bring into that ceremony is very validating. And there's the joyful side of it too. And I was focusing on the loss, but there's also, like you just mentioned, in this Maga crone wisdom stage, there's also a lot that we gain, which is wonderful. And that's a lovely place to turn your attention. It's like turning your face to the sun, really, and
Absolutely.
saying, there's so much joy in this. So when you think of aging with grace, what does that mean to you?
It's aging with beautiful compassion, self-compassion, and self-acceptance, and dancing with the flow is one of the mantras I use on our Harvest Queen retreat. Just dancing with the flow of life, with its cycles. And and I think you really do need to come into a place of self-healing. Definitely, whatever needs to be dealt with will come up at this stage. If you haven't dealt with your shit in life, it will come to a head at this stage. So really trying to use this time as a healing space. And then as you do that beautiful healing work, you can definitely come from a place of self-compassion and self-acceptance, and truly embrace aging with vitality and with vigor and grace.
And I also know a word that's prevalent for you this year, which makes me think of this, which is cherish. Cherish is your word this year, and it's almost cherishing, spending time with you. I know that you cherish your relationships and you cherish the people in your life. You have got that deep connection with so many people. And you cherish that. And I feel like that's also part of spending time with you in the Harvest Queen. It was very much a feeling of being cherished. Even though it was your birthday, I felt cherished.
Yeah. That it is a time when that maybe that lens of introspection, and you definitely turn the lens outwards, and just you do realize, I think, any zero birthday, it's a time of deep self-reflection, and you truly need to just sit back and notice the abundance of all the things in your life that we need to cherish and be grateful for.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was with the Aging with Grace. I guess that's something that morphed again out of my work with turning the fear and grief around into an acceptance journey. Is it did morph into the Aging with Grace workshop, where we have 11 pillars of Aging with Grace that we cover. And I guess, one of the top ones for longevity is being connected. And as women, I think, definitely, with what surrounds us, there's, with advertising, and there's so much fear mongering that surrounds us. And there's also a lot of competitiveness that can build up between women. That's just created through the culture that we're in. You think about Instagram world, for instance. It's just it can, I can know it can be used for great connection, but it also can create, this social media world can create such separation as well.
Yeah.
And competition. And women need to more and more just let go of the being competitive with each other and come into a space of collaboration. And Emma, that's something that you do a lot of work with. You're the queen of collaboration, and, a great example of what happens when we just stop coming from a mindset of scarcity and think, well, how can we raise each other up? Because this is the time. Let's raise each other up. That's rather than comparing and competing. And it's time for women of all ages to step up and to support each other and raise each other up.
And I think it really is celebrating each other's gifts and talents, because when Yogi Louie knows this, we are about to host our second retreat together, and we are off to India in 5-6 weeks, and we're incredibly excited about that. And Yogi Louie, I went to you, and this is my line. I went to Yogi Louie and I said, I can run a good retreat by myself, but with you, I can run an amazing retreat. And that's what we've done. It's, we coming together, we have just got this most beautiful experience. And we're about to, head into India with some incredible women. And you and I together are strong together. We hold the energy. And, it's like you say, it's wisdom of the collective mindset. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? I feel like you have covered, but tell me a little bit more about the wisdom of the collective mindset.
Yeah, well, I truly believe that the great wisdom to know is that your suffering, my suffering, is everyone's suffering. You're not alone. You've experienced what I've experienced. And the work that we do to heal ourselves benefits the collective, benefits your family, benefits the community, benefits world peace, our environment. It's this collectiveness. We need to heal for ourselves, for the collective. We need to do that deep work for ourselves, for the greater good of humankind.
And even when it seems like on such a 50th birthday celebration, the Harvest Queen, that is powerful stuff, because that's that healing collectively. Women are stronger together. People are stronger together. But I think women particularly are stronger together. And when we heal together, we make way more of a difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
As opposed to do it alone.
Yeah. And when you can step into that, it's empowering, but also very powerful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, Yogi Louie, I know that you do lots of beautiful work. Now, I know that you have a little meditation that you could share with us? Would you like to share a little meditation that you have with so if anyone's driving, now is not the time to drive. You may have to do this. You may have to listen to this bit at another stage. But Louise, would you like to share a little meditation with everybody now?
Yeah, for sure, Emma. Thank you. This beautiful summit you're doing on body love, it just made me really feel deeply about compassion, really, and just coming into this practice of compassion. So the Buddhist practice of compassionate meditation is the metta meditation, and I just thought if I could share that, even just a few minutes of meditation, just to reflect on that, to invoke compassion for the body love revolution.
Thank you, Marv. So those of you who are listening along, if you are happy to stop and take a seat for a moment, or can they stand, Louis? I'll let Louis take it away, but here's your little moment for a few minutes of rest.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. So I guess, just find a comfortable seat if you can, and just be really mindful about the spine just being nice and straight, and really being aware of the face, the compassionate face, the softness in the eyes, the softness in the jaw, and almost like a little half Buddha smile coming on the face now. Just signaling to the brain that I'm safe in this space, I'm supported. And just for the next few moments, coming into your beautiful body, and then relaxing the shoulders, being aware of any sensation of tension, and perhaps just trying to take the breath there, the soft breath. And we use the work of Professor Paul Gilbert, who does beautiful compassionate work, and he talks about compassionate breath. And that is an evenness of breath, an even inhale and exhale that even counts. So he talks about an inhale for 5 counts and an exhale for 5 counts. And the neurological shift that creates in the brain just by simply breathing, by making the breath soft and even, we can just bring the body into a state of rest. Maybe just for the next few moments, just lengthen the inhale and the exhale. Some people find it nice to count. So you inhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's try and create an evenness of breath. And as we breathe, just being really aware of this compassionate body with the open heart. So perhaps try and blossom through the heart space a little bit more as the shoulders relax and the chest opens. And also being aware of that inner voice. The inner voice, using really gentle, soft tones. So often, particularly as women, we can use this harsh inner critic voice, and just being really aware of that when it arises. Not pushing that away, but just noticing with loving awareness, and then trying to change the tones and the way we speak to ourselves. And like you talk to a young child or someone you love, just really try and be mindful of the tones you use with that inner voice. And perhaps going out of your way to be extra kind. Maybe offer yourself some recognition of 3 things that you did well today. You did this well, good on you. You set out to do that. You did it. Just being really soft and gentle and kind to yourself. And finally, in the metta practice, we use mantra, a blessing, a prayer, if you like. And again, just using that beautiful, gentle, kind voice to yourself, just blessing yourself. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I feel deep compassion. May I be at peace. Maybe just come back to that beautiful, compassionate breath for the next few moments. With our loving kindness practice, we might like to send that blessing to someone who we love. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you feel deep compassion. May you be at peace. And the Buddhists noticed that the practice of self-compassion is difficult. And to practice compassion towards others can take between 3 months and 3 years. Or you can actually send compassion out. And just realizing that compassion is to invoke that feeling of self-kindness with the intention to alleviate suffering. And today, if it's available to you, just really acknowledging that this extra bit now is a harder practice. We might just need a little bit more practice with self-compassion, but maybe a difficult person now, someone who challenges us, we can send them the blessing. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you feel deep compassion. May you be at peace. Good work. That's tricky thing to do, and just acknowledge that. Coming back to your beautiful, compassionate breath. Micro expressions in the face, compassionate face, soft face. And your compassionate body, open-hearted. And perhaps just that extra blessing to yourself once more. May you be happy. May you be free of suffering. So we can liberate the mind, liberate the body. Blessings, blessings to you all. Namaste.
Namaste, Yogi Louie. Thank you. That was beautiful. Just a little moment to connect with the breath. Love and compassion to ourselves. Know what you mean? Yeah, it can be a little bit tricky sending love and compassion. Some people are easier to love than others.
Absolutely. Some days it's easier as well to to love ourselves, but I think the biggest lesson is to always accept what is. And if it's difficult today, that's okay.
Yeah.
And just be in loving awareness with what is.
And that is so the theme of this body love revolution, wrapped up beautifully. You know, some days it's easier, some days it isn't. Accepting where we're at, loving the grey hair or the wrinkle or the whatever, you know, the list can go on, can't it? No matter what age or stage you're at, you know, we can all have those moments, can't we?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, I just think we need to really be intentional with our practice, that we can feel and look great at any age.
Yeah. And that is very prevalent. I mean, we are incredibly blessed to have women of all different ages and stages in our life. And particularly on your Harvest Queen, we had women at all different stages. And to look at, you know, one woman in particular who is in her, you know, wisdom years, her crone years, and she's just the most beautiful, graceful, elegant woman.
Yes.
And to be in that presence, you know, I particularly said to myself, gosh, that is what I'm aiming for. That's admirable.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, grace. If there was a woman who was going to be a model of grace, she's definitely it. And it's, we can all be there. We can all be in this beautiful space of grace through self-compassion and self-acceptance.
Yeah. And this is why, you know, the Harvest Queen and the premise, us spending time with women all different ages and stages, because it is really lovely to have someone to model or to look up to.
Yeah.
So, you know, those of you listening to this, I encourage you to find that gracious woman who is ahead of you in her journey and let that be the guiding light.
Yeah. And again, it's just sitting in that circle of support. I've got you as you're going through this stage. You are surrounded by women who are going to support you through this. We're going to laugh. We're going to cry. You know, it's beautiful.
And everything
so definitely that's a vibration I'd love to send out there to everyone. Yeah.
So Yogi Louie, I know that you are available for bespoke, beautiful Harvest Queen celebrations. So anyone who's listening, please reach out to Yogi Louie. Your Instagram handle will be in the show notes, and they will find you there and send your message. If anyone's thinking of pulling together something special for themselves or for any woman in their life that's moving into this next beautiful phase, Yogi Louie is your facilitator. And of course, you and I host retreats together.
Yes.
We will have, like we said, India is sold out and happening very soon, but we'll also be releasing another date very soon for our next retreat that will be in Byron Bay. So Yogi Lou and I are both on the Gold Coast, but we have a fabulous location in Byron Bay that is just wonderful, isn't it, Yogi Louie, that houses us all.
Absolutely.
It's a great spot. So that will be perhaps even released very, very soon, perhaps even in the next month it will be. Yogi Louie, my dear friend, thank you.
Thanks so much, Em, and just loving all the conversations that you are having with women. We need this. We need to keep opening this space up, and your work here, again, through just your own journey, guiding you through this, that you're feeling vulnerable enough and having the courage to be so authentic. And, you know, look what it's created. Look at the connections you're making, the collaborations you're making, and really letting us feel supported as well, empowered as women.
Thank you, my darling. I love you and namaste.
Thanks, Sam.
Yogi Lou and I have just released our third retreat, Wholehearted Divine Feminine Retreat in the south of India, taking place on November the 1st through to the 8th. So if you have been watching our stories and watching our adventures through India, please reach out. I would love to let you know of all the little intricacies and how this beautiful retreat is unfolding in the south of India. So if you are ready to explore another country, gather with beautiful women, do some wonderful personal development workshops and practices, find your rhythm and your groove, as well as exploring what India has to offer, Ayurveda and the landscape and the beautiful places that we will visit, I would absolutely love you to join us. So if India is on your list, reach out. The south of India is happening in November this year. There's a link in the show notes.